I joined the cast just before it started filming. Really, they'd been cast. People, Lake and Stevie, who play Angelo and Frank, have been attached for about 4 or 5 years before, and I know that they've been looking for a Jake, someone to play Jake, with a certain essence, for a few years now, casting in Los Angeles and New York and places. And I got sent the script quite last minute by my agent, and said they didn't have one of their lead characters, and I read it and I was like, wow, how do I get involved with this film? And so I flew out for a meeting with JC when actually they'd already cast the character. It was one of those situations where the meeting was coming up. I was supposed to come and meet him, and then they had to cast someone, and they knew this guy already, and they cast him. And I met JC, and our immediate, well, for me anyway, my immediate reaction was, he's an incredible man, incredible person. He has such enthusiasm for the script, such enthusiasm for the film, and also all the crew around him, like Joe, production manager, and everybody else. They all seem such a wonderful, passionate unit. So I came away from this meeting thinking, fuck, it's like the role's gone, but at least I met these people. It was amazing. And some things happened, some complications, and I came back and I had a much longer meeting with JC, and he offered me the role, which is fantastic. But you got to understand, you don't that often get such an incredible script with such an amazing passion behind it and such wonderful character. I mean, it's truly an ensemble film. I mean, sure, you have this love affair of these two characters, Jake and Frank, and then you have the wonderful Madame, and you have Emma and Angela and Dean. But it's such a wonderful ensemble script. And so when I got on board, which was just a few days before rehearsals and pre-production started, I was like, fuck yes, And we went into it, and it was just an incredible experience to step into such a, as I said, a passionate production. For me, anyway, preparation personally has just always been something I have to do. If I'm in a scene worrying too much about my lines, then it kind of stops. It's that old thing about the text floats on top. So really, I think what I really started off doing, of course, examining the script, and you look for clues, you look for elements of your character. But for me, I mean, Jake is more of a product, less of a product of the 80s where the film's based, and more of a product of the 70s, where he grew up. After the script tells us he ran away from home, we see it in the film. For me anyway, there's a kind of dubious past of how he got involved and how he survived. And I just really started listening a lot to the music from the periods of the 70s music. People like Bob Dylan and stuff had a real influence on me. And the fact that he's this American, for me, the kind of things like the Beat Generation, there's a real kind of traveller aspect to him, a real kind of Kerouac image in my mind anyway when I read it. And so really I think I just borrowed a lot of elements of people. Again, as I said, it was quite a last minute thing, so I just grabbed hold of any essence of this character that might give me something. I mean, how does his character move? How does he walk? I mean, for me, just piecing together the background of this character, what brings them to this stage now in their life? Like, what was the scene before the scene? You know what I mean? What was the story before the story? And I just had a really lovely time of just grabbing hold of all these clues of the essence of Jake. I mean, he's such an incredible, I don't know, for me, he's a really attractive character in the sense of he's a traveller, he's a real survivor, he has a very sensitive side, he has his own personal world, but he obviously has a very open world, which is the side of the club and his job and his dancing and the kind of private clients that he has there. So for me, it was just a wonderful, how I prepared personally was really just a kind of collective approach of the essence of this person, the physicality of this person, the past of this person, and just anything that just fuels you, really. I mean, I think that's what as an actor, I think that's what you can do, is whatever gives you that kind of essence of who you're playing, you're going to follow it through. But not everybody works that way. It's just me. I'm a bit crazy, No, it's an amazing cast. I mean, on all levels, really. I mean, Kier, who's just an incredible in my book, an incredible actor. I mean, never said this to his face, but you know, I've always loved his work. I've always watched films, his work, ever since I saw him in My Own Private Idaho, and you know, Fassbinder stuff, and all the work that he's done. For me, he is one of the real greats of cinema, and it's such an incredible pleasure to work with him. He's such a giving actor. He's such a generous actor in the energy that he brings to the set, and the energy that he brings to you when you're dealing with him. You know, when you're one-on-one in a scene. And what he's brought to Madame is just amazing. Such wonderful strength and courage and enthusiasm, you know. And Eleanor's amazing. I mean, she really has a discipline with acting. She brought something to Emma, a real essence to Emma, like a very motherly side, but also kind of real funky, you know, a lady of the club, you know. And Stephen Fry is amazing. Man, there was a scene we had in the hospital, just Jake and Dr. Marsh, and it was a wonderful sensitivity that he has. And there's a real, I don't know, you find yourself just completely lulled into a sense of ease and behaviour, you know, within the scene. And you're not thinking about anything technical, like, what is my line, how do I move, blah, 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 blah. He makes you feel very unself-conscious about when you're in the scene. There's a real connection, energy. And everybody else, it's a wonderful cast. Lake and I had to really find a real, I remember talking to Jean-Claude and Lake at the very beginning, like, you know, Jake and Frank, the arc of the love affair between them, the connection between them was so important to the story. And Lake and I, you know, we'd never met before. We met first time on the airplane coming over to Luxembourg. I mean, he's been attached for 5 years or something, and I was like this guy that had come on 2 weeks before. It's like, and it was wonderful because we met on the airplane, and there was a lovely connection immediately. And we shared the airplane ride. I remember watching him. He was sitting down the airplane, I was watching, thinking, man, we've got to be a real connection for the next 3 months, you know. And it's lovely because we really found it. We found a friendship. I mean, I really see this film as much of a love affair. It's as much of, you know, a companionship and fighting against and trying to survive through something. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, Stevie as well. Stevie is just an incredible, lovely ball of fun, and steals the screen every single damn time you're in a scene with him. You know that he's going to do something wonderful. And he brought to Angelo such a lovely, kind of strange, a real tenderness and a kind of boyish charm. But also by the end of it, when he really is a woman, and he's such a wonderful physical actor. And Luke is the, as they say in England, the bee's knees. He's so intelligent. It's kind of scary. You know, like, most of us are getting back to our hotel room and we're like, oh man, I'm tired, I'm going to drink a beer or I'm going to watch a movie. And he's going and reading Proust, you know, and he's, you know, talking about Bachot and poetry. And there's a real discipline to Luke. I mean, Dean, the character he created, is such a wonderfully, he really created an entire character. I mean, you know, you see him dance on stage, it's like, he's really there. He's someone who really works with behaviour as an actor, and he's it just blows me away watching him. Yeah, I worked him later. But no, I mean, it's a wonderful cast, and I think that's one of the winning qualities for me about the film.